to Invictus Motors. We've got Scott here.
How do?
We're going to be going out to review this Porsche 911, the 991.1 GT3 RS. And Porsche took a big, massive leap from where they were in the 997.2 GT3 and the GT3 RSs to basically getting this as this monster of a car.
Road-going race car.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been Scott's dream. He's been here with us. God knows how many years have we known each other?
A year or so now. Yeah, good few years we've known each other now.
Good few years.
Become friends. Our mutual love of cars.
Thank you.
Brought us together, and we created a friendship out of that.
Thank you so much.
I've got the privilege today to come down here and help out Bashir at Invictus Motors. My reward for this is to come out in an iconic car. You just don't see them every day. You certainly don't get to be a passenger or even get to drive one every day. So
true.
What a fantastic opportunity.
It is so true. And basically, let's just jump in. Initially, it will be me sort of driving, just to basically kind of show Scott how to drive.
I'll take that. I'm taking anything, any abuse, just so I can be in the car.
It's always good to kind of take these cars out for a drive, and this one's not been driven for a while. Also, this would be a bit of a nice kind of personal review of cars like this, you know. Yes, it's a GT3 RS. One should also not be afraid of actually just getting into it and driving it. You know, what you will do is you'll find a lot of people who, unfortunately, they feel absolutely scared of a car like this.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend it on a 1 mile journey to the gym. But, you know, if you're doing 5-10 miles,
yeah, you can use it, should use it.
You've still got that big, massive boot at the front. I was talking to somebody about the 992 GT3 RSs. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a boot anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the privilege in the past to own cars such as Ferraris, Maseratis, C63 AMG, RS6s. I mean, you know, all fantastic cars. I've had the privilege, whilst I've been with you guys, to you know, take out some turbos, some fantastic cars. But this really is it's a different league. It's not something you see every day. It's like that, yeah. You know, passing someone just there who owns a Bentley, and even they're looking. Yeah, you know, it's that kind of car.
It is that kind of a car. God, Scott, I think let's just cover these roads. These roads are so much nicer. And this is just in the normal setting.
Yeah.
Sports is not activated. And it's incredible.
It's incredible
How quick it eats up ground. And by far there are not many other sports performance cars, well, supercars, that can do what something like this is capable of. And something to kind of put your mind, you know, at ease with. Again, you know, this is not like a monster hypercar that's going to be uncomfortable to drive in any way, form or shape. This exact same car, me and my brother did about 3,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
In and around the north coast of Scotland.
It's not too harsh. It's not, you know, like, it is a racing car for the road, but it's not set up like a racing car. We're not bouncing over every B road bump that we've got here. It has got a cage in the back. It is extremely stiff, but it is usable. You know, it's
totally with
yeah. I think when you look at it and somebody sees it on the street, they probably think you're going to go down the road with your teeth chattering and hitting every bump, and it even unstable in the car because of the sort of conditions the roads are in the UK at the moment. But it does ride them.
It does ride them incredibly well.
It does. I mean, this is my first experience of actually being in one. Even though I've been in a lot of 911s, it's not that different at slow speed. It is usable. And
not just being in one, we'll pull over in about half a mile, so you could drive it.
Amazing. And it's a bucket list car then. I've driven a GT3 RS. I mean, you know.
Honestly, I cried the first time we won one of these.
Yeah.
When I say won one of these, well, we put the money where the money.
Yeah.
You know, getting one of for us it's like a lottery anyway, because they're still very rare in the number of these globally produced.
Yeah.
I think the RS is 4,500 globally produced.
Yeah.
And the GT3s, the 991 GT3s were about 6,500.
Yeah.
Still a limited number car. I mean,
Yeah.
how often do you actually, unless you intentionally make the effort to go to a car meet, you don't see one of these.
No. And also for yourselves, you know, your Porsche dealers, you're getting into the Porsche world. You've got your, you know, your Caymans and your other cars and all the great cars that Porsche do. But you've hit the pinnacle when you get to GT3s, GT2s.
100%.
You know, and like you say, you achieve that for yourself, for your business.
Absolutely, and you know, just having it puts us in a lot of ease with people, with customers. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. You know, this doesn't scare us.
Yeah.
We might actually get a lot of people buying similar value cars, and you know, the fact they know that we can handle and are capable of something like this, it actually puts their mind at ease.
Yeah. Even
So-
having it in the showroom when someone comes in to buy a Boxster, you know that this is the quality and the value and the, you know, the ability
Indeed.
that you've got to buy this. It puts you at ease, like you said.
Yeah.
It's handy they've actually got the seat belts for everyday use as well as the harnesses. That's
Yeah, very handy.
a fantastic opportunity.
And just to kind of capture the essence of the kind of sound that you normally get, or the comfortable nature of the car inside. Do you want to
Yeah.
put your window up, Scott?
Yeah.
And that way,
Yeah,
that
we get
way-
the acoustics right.
Yeah, exactly. And this
then-
is in the comfort setting. I mean,
Yeah, we're at less than 2,000 miles. We're 41 miles an hour in 6th gear. You know, it's just you can cruise in it. My teeth aren't rattling away on a B road in Essex.
Yeah. Shall we switch on the PDK Sport and
Yeah.
Sports Exhaust? You want to do the honours?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Just that simple. And that was without me. That was just purely through the gearbox, without using the paddles.
Correct.
Just
I mean,
picks
because
it up. It holds the gear for so much longer.
that huge leap that Porsche took was in this generation of the Porsche 911s.
Yeah.
When it comes to the GT3 and the GT3 RSs, they completely phased out, even in the turbos, they completely phased out manual transmission.
Yeah.
Because this,
It can do it.
yep,
Does it quicker and better. And to be honest with you, I don't really miss the manual. Luckily enough, this morning I went out in the GTS, which was a manual, which is nice to drive. But yeah, I wouldn't miss it in this. And to be honest with you, in a car like this, I'm happy to have both hands on the wheels and concentrating.
I agree. The GTS, the 991.2 GTS we had, that was on a 2017 plate. Nice car,
Yep.
in theory, lovely car, beautiful to drive around, but you know,
Almost a different car.
Yeah.
Almost, you know, same DNA, different car.
obviously there's nothing that you can potentially compare to a GT3 RS.
No.
Isn't it? You
No,
kind
I
of-
mean, I think it's got to be probably one of the fastest point-to-point cars
correct.
that you could buy.
I mean, why don't you cover the performance numbers? I think this is something you've researched, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just shy of 500 brake horsepower. I mean, the 0 to 60 times the incredible thing, really, with just a rear-wheel drive car at just a shy over 3 seconds, and you know, take you all the way up to about 193.
Not to
And,
62 miles per hour in what, 3.3 seconds?
3.3 seconds. Yeah.
God, that is.
It's phenomenal. It's you know, it's almost motorbike performance.
Yeah, motorbike performance. I mean, tell me about it. I've got that Ducati Diavel,
Yeah.
the first generation 2011 plate, that does 0 to 62 in 2.9 seconds.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't. It's not safe to ride. You know, at that kind of a speed that quickly. I think you'd end up killing yourself unless you're like Valentino Rossi.
And the thing with it is, you've got to get the performance out of that, you've really got to know what you're doing. But
Yeah.
you can literally get in this, set the parameters and set yourself away and be almost as quick. It's only your reaction time that's going to stop you from actually being on those figures.
Yes.
You know, it isn't scary to drive. You know, at this speed, at 50 miles an hour on a 60 mile an hour road, it's not scary. You know, the back end's not skipping out. You're not putting your foot down on wheels spinning. There's none of that. But
And that's again credit to Porsche
yeah,
for creating something that is so reassuring, isn't it?
yeah, and then when you know that actually, if you have got the ability and the confidence and the roads that'll allow you to do it, you can take it up to all of those performance figures that we just spoke about. You know, and there's nothing that you wouldn't be able to overtake in this. That's for sure.
I agree. 100% agree.
It's wonderful.
And what do you think about the inside of it? Much different to, I mean, your experience of, you know, sitting in some of the other 911s you've sat in?
It isn't really, is it, from this position? I mean, I love the Alcantara, I love the fact that it's dark, I love it on the steering wheel. But the actual instrument cluster, if you know Porsches, you know where everything is, your fingers just go straight down to it. You know, I'd much prefer it like this. This is more analog, a bit like Ali said in the videos the other week that I was watching with him. You know, it's not like driving some of the modern cars where everything's through the touchpad on the iPad and taking your hands off the wheel. There's buttons where the buttons should be.
Yeah. And talking about buttons, I mean, look, you've got the PDK Sport button.
The sport suspension.
The sport suspension. Do you want to feel it in this?
Yeah, put it in the sport suspension. We'll see whether.
That way you can actually.
Yeah, so we're in sports mode, PDK pack now. We've got the sport suspension on. We've got the exhaust open up, and it does make it a bit stiffer. You can feel it. I don't know if you can see it on the video.
You can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much stiffer.
It is so much stiffer, but it's a flick of a button. You don't have to get out and start adjusting dampers and coilovers or anything like that. We'll allow some of this traffic just to drop back a bit, and I'll put my foot down a little bit.
And when you're doing 100 miles an hour, it's worth having that.
Oh, absolutely. With the car being so much lower.
And some of the other buttons are like the ESC off, and then ESC plus traction control off.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be pressing that.
And then obviously you've got the pitch speed button there as well.
Yeah.
So this gear selector is very different to your standard 911 as well. This has got that skeleton bone, kind of lightweight feel to the gear selector, which is finished in aluminium, combined with the Alcantara at the top. Ergonomically, just a nice thing to kind of hold.
It's set at the right height as well, isn't it? It's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they always do that in all of the cars I've had, where you push it over and use the gearbox up and down. But if you've got paddles, I would always use paddles. And you know, you've got the option to use both there. And for me, it's the right way round. I.e., it's downshift is forwards.
Yes.
Which always is counterintuitive to me, where it to be the other way round, where you're pushing down to up the gear, and I don't like that. Whereas it's wonderful to see in this actually that a proper driver's car, you would go down the gearbox to go down the gears, up the gearbox to come up. So actually on a track I might use that, because it would seem something like I'd want to use.
Yeah, it's a very interesting observation actually, and a good observation as well. And that's another thing about Porsche. I mean, they kind of apply that to all their cars, whether it's a Boxster or whether it's, you know, a GT3 RS is, you know, where the ignition is, and in comparison to just kind of the whole layout of the car, it is very driver focused, isn't it? And they kind of apply those ethos to the Porsche Macans and the Porsche Cayennes as well.
Yeah, well, ergonomically, everything is where I want it to be. It's here. The mirrors, I'm just glancing. The rear view mirror, I'm just glancing. I'm not having to work hard to do anything other than drive the car. And the seats, you know, they're full carbon fibre, 4-point harness seats, but you don't, you know, it's comfortable. And
they're from the 918, the Porsche 918, the hypercar, the £1 million hypercar.
Yeah, you can tell.
These seats, I think they will fetch about £20,000 on the second-hand used market on eBay.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And this is also very well spec'd. You've got things like cruise control on this as well. And the other really nice specky items is obviously bringing in the Porsche pure white colour onto the inside as well.
You've even got cup holders.
Yep.
What more do you want?
Yeah. It's the extended leather interiors as well with the diamond.
The white stitching as well, matching the outside. The stitching to match, and it runs perfectly down along the door. Okay, so
this is your moment, Scott.
This is the... It's amazing. Ah, look at this.
You can put your foot down.
Wow. Oh, the gear changes are just seamless. Absolutely seamless. I've never driven anything with a gear change like that, especially in an auto gearbox. Just incredible. And the handling, just leaning it into that corner with, that's in 7th gear and it's still got pickup. Wow.
This is us in the GT3 RS.
Carbon ceramic. Never driven a car with carbon ceramic brakes either. Yeah, absolute dream. Absolute dream. What a machine.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow, what a machine. And into the sensible part of town, but that was worth it. That was incredible. Cheers, mate. I really appreciate it.
No, anytime. I'll send this across to you.
Absolutely.
I mean, the nice thing about what we do at the same time is, you know, being able to kind of share our passion and our hobby. I mean, we're recording, we're filming, but we still want to record something instantly to have on our phone to kind of reflect back on it as a memory. And
just into this bend, it's like it's just straightened it.
it just eats up ground.
Yeah.
Feel free to put your foot down. And if you want to drop it to second, if you want, it really sounds amazing now.
It's just coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We'll turn right now, yeah.
By far the fastest car I have ever driven.
Yeah.
By far. By far. This rides the corners, just flows in from one to the other. It's like the initial grip with the brakes as well. The carbon ceramics, you don't feel like they're biting, and then they really all of a sudden bite down.
But a road like this, the beautiful thing about it is you can actually get the drone nice and low as well.
Yeah. Yeah, some good filming. It's just at the back of the farm where you get to film.
Great location. Oh.
I mean, you know, Friday afternoon in the sun with your friend, driving a GT3 RS. What more? What more can you? I'd pay money, pay good money.
I'd pay money to experience this.
Absolutely. I mean, if you try and hire something like this, you're talking about couple of £3,000 a day, easily.
For a whole day, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, for 24 hours.
I think the track experience might be about a couple of £100.
Oh, if not more. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And even then, you're going to get 3 miles or 3 short laps in something. You don't really get to feel what the car's like. So, I mean, the only time I've driven a Ferrari California, the only time I've driven a 458 was on a track.
Wow.
Wonderfully fast, great braking, but you know, you don't get this feeling. You don't get the real world feeling of coming out of a corner and out of a junction.
Okay, and these roads are brilliant to actually fly our drone on.
Everyone's smiling at you when you're in a car like this.
He is, yeah. It made his day.
Yeah, if you like cars, it made my day if I see something like this.
I think it makes my day when I see any sort of a Porsche.
Yeah.
Because I deal with these cars, and it's nice to see that people actually genuinely...
They're out in them, they use them.
Yeah, they drive them. Shall we try this
Yeah.
PDK Sport thing one more
Let's
time?
do it again. Oh, listen to that.
It's where the rev magic kicks in, isn't it?
It is, just the way it just picks the... In fact, it does it far more than when you do it in the other cars. Oh, the handle, it's just so stiff, and handles just... When I come round here in my Range Rover in the morning, I really have to... Wow.
It hugs that line.
Look at that, I mean, yeah. You can imagine what it must be like on a track when you can actually just, you know what's coming up, you can throw it into the corners. Mm-hmm.
Agreed, totally agreed. So we'll get it into the middle when you're ready. Foot down flat. Oof.
That is phenomenal. I didn't even have a chance to look down because the speed was building so much. I tell you, that is unreal.
One more time, Scott.
It's addictive.
It is addictive, and
Right, I'm going to do an extra ticket tonight on the lottery because I need it. Oh, the way it drops down the gearbox as well with the overrun and the little.
let's leave it here.
You happy here?
That's it. I'm very happy here. Great. Remember the handbrake.
Absolutely.